Welcome back to Dadvestor. It's been a while. Wanted to go over basically everything I'm doing on Tastytrade. It's basically where I've moved, and I want to catch you up on basically three things. But first, let's do the cool stuff. So this is SPX. On Tastytrade, you have access to that. You do not have access to that on other platforms such as Robinhood. As much as I love Robinhood's platform for the low to no fees, it just doesn't have access to these instruments, and these are just the best instruments there are. So these are cash settled. So basically, I have a bunch of positions on RU2, and which is this one. And then I also have on this one, so on SPX. So I have an Iron Condor. I have two Iron Condors, and I'll show you what those are. You can see this is how I visualize it, because without this, I don't really know what's going on. Just based on the numbers, I do need to see it. So I use TradingView, which is this app. It's free. I have the free account, and then obviously Tastytrade. So here's SPX. It is the S&P 500 index. It's cash settled, so it's based on cash. It's not based on shares. So you can hold to expiration without having to worry about any kind of weird post-market close issues, because it just settles in cash. And when the market closes, it's done. There's no post-market movement. So you can see this -2 down here, and all these. I'm going to clear the orders. So you can see those are the positions. So on this, see it's 56.05 and 55.90, and then the top position up here, right, is at 56.40. So the way that looks like is here. So 56.40, I have a sell. These are all basically verticals, so vertical spreads. So I'm selling puts and calls, and then I'm buying the outer strike, so that I define my risk and I can't lose past that point, right? So instead of risking, infinite or undefined amounts of money, I'm only risking $400, $500, or less than $500. So $400, $300, what have you. So I am Iron Condoring. Again, this is the return of the Iron Condor, and it has been incredibly profitable. So you can see my positions add up to over $600, and that's not just today, but the two, so RUT and SPX at the top here, those are same day trades. Although in RUT I do have a longer term position. So I think like this one here is a 2-day Iron Condor. There's 2 days left, and it's profitable. So I'm going to close that position at 50%. You know what? I'll do this later. Point is, it's I've made over $300, so over $400 today, and then it adds up to $600 plus because of my futures positions, which are the GC and the ES positions. So this one, I have a working order to close it when it hits 50%, which is $60. This, I already had a position closed, so this zeroed out position here, that is now zero. That was, I guess, it closed at 50%, so I guess that hit it. And I have this as gold as well. So the GC is gold, so I'm running Iron Condors on futures, on gold futures, and on S&P futures, which is this. And they're all positive. I've been using a little bit of technical analysis to predict ranges, because you can predict ranges a lot better than individual directions. And it's been really successful. So what has been unsuccessful is I did a undefined risk play on the micro ES, so the micro E-mini S&P 500, which is this one, except the micro. And I used the micro because I could afford to do a strangle. Now, a strangle is basically an Iron Condor, but you don't buy the wings, so you don't have any protection. And since it was an unprotected trade and I only had $2,000 in the account, I basically got margin called, and I had to deposit So it's a total of 6,000. So I deposited 4,000 on top of the 2 that I had in here. And so I ended up losing $2,000, give or take, because the value of my positions were fluctuating. And it was really annoying, and it was a mistake. I can't run undefined risk plays. I just don't have enough money. And instead, I'm using Iron Condors, which I have a love for. I always have since the beginning, my first video. And you can see here in my account, I'm over $6,000 now. Today, we've made $487.50, give or take. The open is just because I do have these longer term trades that are gonna also be in there. Year to date, we're at over $900, but with fees, it's only plus 200 or 195, give or take, because it's fluctuating. But anyway, yeah, so here's my stats. And even though I lost $2,000, I've regained those $2,000, and now I'm over 2,000. I'm in the profit. And I'm not sure if I'm going to withdraw the 4,000 I put in, but eventually I will. I might actually just push this to 10,000 and run it like Tastytrade. I'm just basically running a hedge fund, and I'm going to run gold and S&Ps. I'm going to run Iron Condors. I'm going to run verticals on those, and I'm going to do the same thing in the short term on the 0 days to expiration plays on SPX and RUT. I also use XSP, but today I didn't really have an opportunity, and I'm working in the clinic, so I don't have time. This is sort of at lunchtime I do this, and that's why I like these plays, because the timing is everything. If you time it to be after a certain point of the day, you can see this. So after 2 o'clock, it trends within a small range. It's a pretty tight range. And that's been true almost every day. On the days where it's not true, I actually am able to hedge and not lose that much money, because remember, this is cash settled. So you can see, after 2 o'clock, give or take, right? So the price was like here. And then after 2 o'clock, you can see that it basically stayed within that range. And I go pretty wide. For details, go on the Discord. It's all in there in the system, in the Dadvestor system. So just check that out and ask questions if you have any. But this is what I'm doing. It's really exciting, and I'm at a point where I think I could push it over 10K. I might just withdraw from Robinhood, and that'll cover my 4,000 that I put in here, and then maybe add more to that, just because Robinhood doesn't have access to these 0 days to expiration. I call it the zero hero, because it's zeros, and it's been a hero of my account, and I made over $2,000. Just, I don't know, when did I start this? This happened, the margin call happened in August. So it was today's August 26th or something. And so this happened maybe 2 weeks ago. Yeah, maybe a little more than 2 weeks. So 3 weeks ago, give or take. So in the past 3 weeks, I have made over $2,000 with this one play. How much does it cost? Well, each of these Iron Condors costs less than $500. So I'm doing 4. So that's $2,000. Should you risk all your money in one day? No. So I started with 1, and then, now I'm over $6,000. So I'm doing 4 of them. And then I also have longer term plays. So yeah, you can see these, generally these positions, I have 3 on these, and they're all relatively small compared to my buying power. So I always have buying power. So since these expired, now my buying power is back. So I have over 4,900 in buying power, because the zeros expired. And they cash in, because this is a cash settled instrument. So SPX, if that's all I had, SPX is all I could use. I could only use SPX and make a ton of profit. But I am mitigating my risk by using RUT. RUT has been consistent. Let's go to the year to date. You can see I've made over 1992 profit in SPX alone. And I still have a lot of negatives on the ES, and that's because my big losses were, they were in the micro. And anyway, so this is also, I lost on that one too. So I lost on the S&Ps and the futures, but I am getting it back, and I've been able to become profitable because of SPX. And then RUT helps. But these longer term positions here, these 3, or it's really just gold in a different date. This is still gold. But these two instruments I haven't been super profitable with yet, but it's sort of a long-term thing. So, but that's why I'm a huge fan of the Zero Hero, because look at those stats. So, all right, that's it. That's all I had to say. I'm excited. I'm going to keep with it, and hopefully in the next couple of months I can withdraw my first withdrawal, or just keep pushing and get over 10K. So, new 10K challenge. I added money, but I'm still in profit. I'll keep you updated. Peace out.